Welcome to OSM Operation Safe Mode Mailbag. Many questions have been coming in because we are coming close to the celebration of the birth of Christ. A lot of people have different questions, so I thought I would just try to answer them tonight. So let me go to the mailbag, and because we are at that point now, we can use my phone to read the questions so that we're all on the same page in both parishes to where we're going. So the first question is, Father John, I know that you mentioned the wrapping of the baby Jesus. What are we to do, for we're new at the parish? Well, what the baby Jesus tradition for us is that we wrap the baby Jesus as a present, and we bring them to the church this weekend, and Father Roniel and I will bless the package which has the baby Jesus. And then on Christmas morning, before you open any other presents with your family, the youngest person in the family will unwrap the baby Jesus as the first present, a real present, that we receive on Christmas morning. Lay him into the manger, and then all the other presents that we share will be in honor of the birth of Christ. So that's our tradition. So if you are coming to Mass this weekend, please wrap your infant Jesus from your nativity set, bring it to church, we'll bless it, and then you can place that present around the manger until Christmas morning. Father John, I heard that the Santa breakfast was successful. Did the children enjoy seeing Santa? It was nice to be able to have Santa come back for a breakfast with the parishioners of Immaculate Conception and the children of Elizabeth Van Seaton, who also participated. You can see here some pictures from the event. Over 150 children showed up with their parents, 150 children and parents. And the breakfast was a nice breakfast, but I think it was just a jolly old time for everybody to see old St. Nick and to be able to have the children see that all in wonder. Of course, they had an opportunity to have a coloring page and just be with one another. So yes, thanks for asking. The event went quite well. Dear Father John, I know that we usually have lessons in carols. Is that going to be on the weekend, or will that be during the week? Well, lessons in carols is planned for an Immaculate Conception at 7 p.m. on Sunday, the fourth Sunday of the Advent season, which is December 18th. And so we'll gather in the church, and the lessons and carols are the readings that lead up to the birth of Christ, along with the songs for which we love to sing in his honor. So hopefully you'll be able to make it. It is truly a family event, a good way to really prepare for that final week of the Advent season. Father John, I know that there was a penance service early, and then there are two penance services coming up. Where are they, and who will be involved in those penance services? Okay, so Tuesday of this past week, we had one at St. Agnes, but next week, on the 19th, will be a penance service at Immaculate Conception. We'll have 12 priests present there. We'll also have the 8th graders there as well. So there'll be 70 8th graders going to confession that night. So you might want to go to St. Elizabeth Seton the following night if you're afraid of the crowds. And there'll be 6 priests there on the 20th. Both events begin at 6:30 with a brief penance service. If you're coming from work and you can't be there at 6:30, no worries. Come and you'll still be able to receive the Sacrament of Reconciliation. And in that question, I would also just like to have a word from our sponsor.
One hour later. Father, I'm the last one. This may take a while.
Thank you, dear. Yes.
I'm sorry you had to listen to all that.
Okay, so remember, the donuts are always important to help the priest through hearing confessions. Dear Father John, the Mass schedule for Christmas, did it change or will it be the same? Well, I can't tell you if it's the same or different, but I think I understand what you're asking. Because Christmas is on a Sunday, will it be the Sunday Mass schedule or will it be a Christmas Mass schedule? Well, obviously, many of us intend to go to Mass on Christmas Eve, so some of the schedule is different on that behalf. So let me just tell you what this Christmas schedule will be, starting with the Christmas Eve schedule. Here at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, our Christmas Eve schedule will be 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. At Immaculate Conception, there will be 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and midnight. And the midnight Mass will start at midnight. And then on Christmas morning, Mass here at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton will be at 9:30. I'm sorry, already screwed up. We'll back that up. IC's Mass is at 9:30, and Elizabeth Ann Seton's Mass is at 9 o'clock on Christmas morning. 9 a.m. at Elizabeth Seton, 9:30 at Immaculate Conception. Dear Father John, we remember the elf in the shelf who was in quarantine. Do you think you can show that video again this year? Well, of course. We know what happened on that day when the elf was quarantining in a mason jar, but we are going to show that as a rerun Tuesday next week, the week before Christmas, so stay in tune for that. So that's all the questions I have for the OSM mailbag, and thank you for asking your questions, and I hope that this helps you to prepare for the upcoming festivities and the birth of Jesus Christ.